All right, hello everyone. My name's Alex Harp. I got the privilege of being best man and having the best seat in the house to witness both of my best friends get married today. A little backstory on my relationship with Brooke and Gray. About 6 years ago, my little sister sent me one of Gray's Instagram pictures and said, "Wow, this guy is beautiful." And for whatever reason, right then and there, I followed and then messaged Gray. I'm just now realizing as I'm reading this that sounds pretty weird. But it was to say I liked his style, go figure, and wanted to know where his cross necklace was from. Despite it being odd that I slid into his DMs to compliment him, we became friends that day. And I also purchased a cross necklace that day because deep down I kind of wanted to be like him. Turns out I never would, because anytime I've ever adopted his style, he promptly changes it within the same week, specifically so that we do not match. Along the way, Gray and I became pretty close friends, and one day he told me he started talking to a girl named Brooke. After some back and forth, I asked what she does, and he said, actually, she makes YouTube videos. I looked her up, and I was like, oh, I've actually seen her before. She's the one with the really funny brother. Shout out Clay, wherever you're at. I remember Gray going on his first date with Brooke. I was like, all right, man, so tell me how it went. What'd y'all do? And he said, we walked around. I said, okay. Is that it? What else? And he's like, well, my AC was out. It was 100 degrees, so we decided to walk around. Then we went to a secondhand clothes store called Ben's. You can get used clothes for like 50 cents a pound. It's great. And I was like, oh, okay. And she was happy with that. And he said, oh, yeah, she loved it. I even let her pick anything she wanted out of the $1 bin. So, okay. Shortly after, when I met Brooke for the first time, and I asked her about the date, surprisingly, she said, oh, it was a great first date. So simple, and we just walked around for most of it, which was perfect. I love walking. It was so much fun. And right there, I knew Gray found a good one, someone who is perfectly content and over-the-top happy about the most simple things. My second impression when I first met Brooke was, man, she sure does give a lot of hugs. My third thought was, that's odd, she even makes sound effects along with the hugs. It's like a little, like when she gives you a hug, she like squeezes you twice. But I quickly figured out that she can't help it. She has so much love in her heart for everyone she meets, she can barely contain it. 6 months later, the world shut down because of COVID, so instead of sitting at home alone, I drove up to Bowling Green and hung out with Brooke and Gray almost daily, actually in Rachel's old house. Thank you, Rach. Don't know why you let us do that.
And Brooke's completely dry!
We had so much fun doing the most random stuff and filming all of it. So from that moment on, I officially became the third wheel to their relationship.
So anyways, yeah, I'm single, completely single.
So, any gays.
And witnessed almost all of their best and worst moments. The majority of which I got on camera, especially the arguments. The best being our days at the beach together, and the worst probably being Brooke thinking Gray was talking to another girl. Turns out it was Gray's baseball teammate, and Brooke wasn't wearing her glasses when she made the accusation. So since that day, we've always joked about a fictional girl named Holly who does not exist, but just the name would ruffle Brooke's feathers up if you brought it up. But Brooke was a good sport. As everyone knows, Brooke is the kindest, most loving person I've ever met. As I like to say, she is basically a human version of sunshine. There's really nothing that can bring her down because she finds joy in everything. Like one time, me, Brooke, Gray, and my girlfriend Natalie were all riding bikes in Florida, and it started pouring down rain on us.
All right, the bikes were really fun, but now it's raining.
Natalie and I started complaining about how the day was ruined, just to look back and see Brooke with her hands up on the bike saying, yeah, I love rain. Yeah, Brooke's always looking at the positive side.
I love rain. I prefer for it to be raining.
Natalie and I were like, okay, we need to start being a little more grateful, I guess. I also got to say thank you to all of Brooke's family for treating me like one of your own. I don't think any of them knew where I came from or why I appeared out of nowhere one day holding a camera and basically became a part-time resident for a little bit. But regardless, they all treated me like a part of the family. Except Lauren. After 5 years, she still doesn't follow me back on Instagram, so I just had to say that again publicly. Sorry, Lauren. And while people saw us laugh together on YouTube, what they didn't see is the times we cried together. When I randomly got really anxious one day, that one time in Brooke's room, both of you prayed over me and talked with me for hours until I was okay. When I went through a breakup and wasn't sure what to do or where to go, both of you guided me in the right direction. When I wanted to get a butt tattoo with both of your initials in it, both of you did not guide me in the right direction, leaving me with a permanent butt tattoo and a mediocre YouTube video from it. But I guess that ended up working out fine because I'm pretty sure it secured my best man spot up here today. Sorry, JT, you should have got a butt tat. I don't know what to tell you. Gray is the type of friend who's loving, loyal, and consistent. He is not the friend you have if you want things sugar-coated. He has no issue being blunt and telling me the truth. In fact, I think he might enjoy it. But the longer I knew Gray, the more I figured out that he was one of the first friends I ever had that truly loved me enough to say the things that were uncomfortable, even if it wasn't something that he necessarily wanted to say. Many of those things he was actually right about, and it saved me a lot of pain going forward, and that is for sure. So thank you for that, Gray. I love that about you. There were so many times when both Brooke and Gray would let me tag along in situations that I probably shouldn't have been at. Most of y'all's date nights, I think even a Valentine's Day date night once, I was there talking too much and probably instigating a fight about jet skis. That's an inside joke. I just had to say that. Brooks always felt like my little sister, and even though he's younger than me, Gray's felt like the big brother I always wish I had. Now you guys are married. Something I've noticed watching your relationship from the beginning is you two have genuinely gotten even more compatible as partners as time goes on. Now, I will say, I do believe Brooke, in all of her innocence, could care deeply and become best friends with a concrete wall. I don't know if she's ever met someone that she doesn't immediately say, I just love them, they're so cute, about. But Brooke and Gray have become not only best friends, but teammates and work so well together. Both of these people love Jesus so much and have built their life around that. Getting to witness their relationship firsthand, I got to see them actually live it out day to day. Not just the fun parts of being a Christian, but the hard parts too. You two are such an awesome Christ-like example to so many, including myself, and neither of you probably know how much I admire you both. Both of you have no idea the impact you've made on my life, from just being goofy kids making videos together to now adults figuring out how to navigate life together. Many things have changed in our relationship now that we live further apart, but most things when we're back together are the exact same. Thank you both for being the best of friends to me. I believe I've finally fulfilled my final duties as a third wheel. At this point of the speech, I was actually going to show my butt tattoo, but my mom told me that was probably inappropriate for a wedding, so I will not do that. And now that I'm up here, that would definitely be weird, so I'm not going to do that. So everyone, if you could raise a glass if that's what we're doing here. I don't probably not. Pretend glass. Cheers to Brooke and Gray. I hope your marriage is filled with lots of love, beautiful children, not yet home drops, pickleball tournaments that Brooke wins, and many, many hugs with sound effects. Love y'all. Cheers.
Alrighty, and for the Maid of Honor speech.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Sydney. I'm Brooke's landlord and best friend and Princess Mishi's most fun aunt. Although I'm here as Brooke's best friend, I've known Gray much longer. To fast forward a couple interesting years of college, Gray and I were part of a very close friend group, and this friend group had some weekend plans of cliff jumping. This is when Gray presented to me, Libby, and Kat that a so-called girl he has been talking to was coming to visit for the first time, and if we could, quote unquote, just do our best to make her feel included. Well, fast forward, Gray, and I'm speaking at you in this so-called girl's wedding, which I think means we did a pretty darn good job of making her feel included that weekend. Little did I know this random weekend cliff jumping with some girls from Kentucky would bring me one of the most special individuals I would ever have the pleasure of knowing in this lifetime. I've gone back and forth on just how to go about sharing my love for Brooke in this speech, but the final verdict is for me to explain why I think the world would be a better place with more Brooke Bushes. Reason number one is that everyone would be able to eat a lot more chocolate chip cookies, and the calories from those cookies wouldn't be real. Reason number two is that the map of the world would appear much smaller because a 25-minute drive is a 10-minute drive and a 4-hour drive is a 2-hour drive. Truly, time doesn't even exist. Reason number three is that the world would receive a whole lot more hugs, consensual and non-consensual, which this has been an interesting one for Brooke and I to find a healthy balance with. So Brooke and I have this little routine where when I get home from work, I'm at the front door and she's at her bedroom door. And I'm telling a story typically about my day, and slowly I see Brooke inch closer and closer, and as she gets closer, her arms get wider and wider, until at the end she's wrapped around me, completely unconsented. But she needs her hugs. Reason number four, this is what I'm gonna cry, is that truly on this side of heaven, when it comes to seeing Jesus' love played out, Brooke does it best. I've never met a person that loves so deeply and unconditionally as Brooke. Without resentment or fear of rejection, she loves every single person in such a way that they cannot deny that there is something different about her and they must know more. In Brooke's mind, she keeps no records of people's wrongs and that directly correlates to how incredible of relationships and the effects that she has on people. As someone that has gotten to have such a close relationship with Brooke, I can speak from experience that in every season of life, I can run to her for encouragement and a prayerful direction because of her ability to leak and seek guidance from the Holy Spirit and an extra hug if I need one. Reason number 5 is that the world would be so much more joyful if we all got to look at it through Brooke's eyes. She doesn't take anything or any experience for granted. In every circumstance, she finds the positive. With the resources she has been given, she so beautifully represents Jesus and has been able to draw others to him. Because of these reasons, Brooke, I want to thank you for how much more exciting and colorful you have made my life. I cherish you so deeply as a person, and as you are moving on to live with Gray, I'm always a hop, skip, and a jump away for all your girl time needs. Being able to watch this relationship grow and mature while also watching both of you give your lives to Jesus, as a best friend, I can so confidently say that this relationship was built on the sturdiest of ground, and because of you two and the way you build each other up and support one another, there is such a beautiful, joyful, and purposeful life written before you. Brooke, you're officially evicted. Get your stuff out or I'm gonna burn it. I love you.
All right, Gray, if you would, why don't you take Brooke's ring and place it on her finger?
Are we laughing? What are we doing?
I don't know. I have no idea what's going on.